Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session. It's great to see some of you joining us live today. I'm Isabel, and I'm here today with my colleague Kirsty. And if you're just joining us live, you might have just taken your exams. And we just wanted to start by saying, well done, you deserve a big pat on the back. But today we are going to be talking about another important part of the ACCA qualification, and that's the Ethics and Professional Skills module, or EPSM.
Thanks, Isabel. Yes, in the next 15 minutes, we're going to show you how the EPSM can supercharge your ACCA journey and help you get to membership faster. So let's get started. So we'll kick off with the basics. EPSM is a core part of your ACCA qualification, and alongside exams and practical experience, it's mandatory for progressing to membership. But it's not another exam. It's an online interactive module that integrates learning content and assessment all in one place. It's made up of 10 units covering topics like ethics, communication, leadership, and data analytics. All of these things are designed to get you thinking like a finance professional.
And what makes EPSM very different is that it's practical. So it places you as the decision maker in realistic and professional situations. So you're going to be faced with real workplace dilemmas. You'll have to analyze the evidence, reflect, make decisions, just like you would in the workplace. But another very important benefit is related to exams. Students who complete EPSM before sitting their first strategic professional exam have pass rates up to 25% higher than the global average. And the reason why is because at strategic professional level, you're being tested on more than just your technical knowledge. These exams are all about how you think, how you respond, how you communicate. And those are exactly the skills that EPSM helps with.
So to sum up there, EPSM is practical, it's relevant, it prepares you not only for exams, but also for your future career. And that's the combination that's going to help you get to membership faster.
So that's a very quick introduction, and I think now we should talk about when you should complete EPSM. So our advice to students is that you should complete it just before attempting your first strategic professional exam, and that will help you get the maximum benefit out of this. So to build on what I've already said, a key difference between SPL and the other strategic professional options exams is that 20% of the available marks in these exams come from professional skills marks. These are awarded for demonstrating skills like analysis, evaluation, commercial acumen, skepticism, and communication in your answers. And you'll be able to develop these skills naturally as you work through EPSM, meaning that you're more comfortable with them when you come to sitting your exams.
And in fact, because of those strong links between EPSM and the strategic professional exams, the module includes an entire unit dedicated to supporting you with the transition from applied skills to strategic professional. So it really makes sense to take advantage of the head start EPSM will give you in being prepared to pick up those extra marks. Now, EPSM is also a huge plus when it comes to your career. ACCA recently found that 91% of employers believe it's important for their trainees to progress all the way to membership. And that's because being an ACCA member tells an employer that you're ready to commit to maintaining the highest level of professional standards. So the skills that you'll gain from completing EPSM will give you the confidence to step into a role, understand business context, and communicate clearly. And these are things that employers across the globe really value.
Sounds great, doesn't it? So completing EPSM doesn't just help you with exams, it gives you a head start in the workplace too. So think of it kind of like switching from a student mindset to a professional one. And if you're already working whilst you're studying, you'll probably recognize quite a few of the situations in the module, and that's because they're designed to feel real. So moving on, you might be wondering now, how to get started? Well, the good news is it's really easy. You just need to log into your My ACCA account. You go to My Qualification, then click on Ethics, and you'll see a link to launch EPSM. Now, when you do this the first time, you'll not automatically be taken to our ACCA learning platform, and that's where you need to select EPSM to take you to the course page. That's where you'll be able to make payment, accept the terms and conditions, and access the module.
So the whole module takes around 20 hours to complete, but you don't need to do it all at once. In fact, we recommend that you take it one unit at a time. Each unit takes about 2 to 3 hours, and your progress is saved as you go. So you can dip in and out depending on your schedule. You'll complete activities like drag and drop exercises, reflective questions, even some mock business emails. So it's really interactive. And when you're ready, there's a final assessment. So the final assessment is timed. It lasts for 2 hours, and you need to achieve 50% to pass. But the good news is that you've got unlimited attempts at that final assessment, and there are no additional costs to retake it.
Thanks, Kirsty. And also, just to add to that, once you've passed the assessment, the final assessment, you actually get a certificate and a transcript, and ACCA will automatically update your progress in your My ACCA account. So that's our very brief overview of EPSM, which I hope has been just a useful kind of insight into what this involves. But before we wrap up, we do want to take some time to cover some student FAQs about EPSM. Now, some of these we've already touched on, but I think it's useful to just reiterate them again. And you can find a list of the student FAQs and more on the ACCA website, and we'll make sure to include a link in the video description to those. So Kirsty, if you don't mind, I'm going to put some of these to you. I'll bring them up on the screen as well, so everyone with us can see what they are. So first of all, we get questions about when it's best to take EPSM. So is it better to take it at a certain point, or if someone wants to complete them before applied skills or after strategic professional, is that okay?
So you can access and take the module at any stage in your journey, as long as you're a registered student on the ACCA qualification. We do recommend that you take it after completing applied skills and before you start strategic professional. So we did cover that, the reasons for some of that earlier in the session, that it's going to help you to be successful in your strategic professional exams. So it would be most benefit for you for the content to be fresh in your mind when you start that stage of your ACCA journey. But of course, if you've already started, or even if you've completed strategic professional, then we do recommend that you take EPSM as soon as possible. The other reason for not doing it too early is that some of the EPSM units rely on knowledge that you'll cover in the later exams at applied skills. So if you take it too early, you might struggle to complete some of the tasks, and that's especially relevant in units 7 and 8.
Okay, thank you. Next question, do we have to pay for EPSM?
So yes, there is a one-off fee for EPSM, and you can find the prices on the ACCA website. Now, once you've paid for EPSM, you will always have access to the content. So even when you've completed the module, you'll still be able to go back and refresh your knowledge, or maybe refer back to it. Maybe if you're going for a job interview or you're making an application, you might want to go back and refer to some of the content in the module. What's also different about the EPSM fee from exam fees is that if you fail the final EPSM assessment, you can retake it as many times as you need to without having to pay any additional fees. So that's a real help, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I like your point about wanting to refresh your knowledge, or perhaps if you're going for an interview or you're doing something that EPSM can be helpful for. That's really good. Is there a time limit to complete the module?
In short, no. So once you have paid for the module, you have got as much time as you need to complete it. Any progress that you make is saved automatically. So you can stop at any time and then jump right back in where you left off. And that makes it really flexible and easy to fit around your other commitments. So the only thing that has a time limit is the final assessment itself, and that's got a time limit of 2 hours. But as I said before, remember, if you don't manage to complete it within that time limit the first time around, you've still got those unlimited chances to retake it.
Right. Next up, can I take EPSM if I'm not working in an accounting role?
Absolutely, you can, yes. So you don't need to be working to take EPSM. And if you are looking to get into your first accounting role, start working on your practical experience, then EPSM is a great way to brush up on some of the workplace skills that prospective employers might be looking for.
Right. And final question for you, Kirsty. Do I need any study materials or a tutor for EPSM?
So this is one of the really great things about EPSM. All of the learning content is integrated into the module itself, so you don't need any additional materials and you don't need to be supported by a learning provider or a tutor. Now, you might get stuck on some of the quizzes, and that's fine, and it's okay to ask for support or guidance. Maybe if you do have a tutor, or maybe you could ask for support or guidance from your fellow students. The one thing it's really important to be aware of, though, is that you should never ask anyone to provide you with the answers to the quizzes or the answers to the final assessment. And if anyone is offering to provide those to you, then you absolutely shouldn't be accepting help from those people either. It is an ethics module, so you should be ethical in the way that you complete it.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's it. I think we've covered most of the commonly asked questions that students have about EPSM, and I hope this has been a useful overview. But to wrap up, EPSM is mandatory, but more than that, it's a massive boost to your confidence, your exam performance, and your employability. So it develops professional thinking and ethical awareness. This makes it a really fantastic bridge between exams and the workplace. So remember what we said about switching from the student mindset to the professional one. It's a really useful tool.
Absolutely. And if you want to know more, including employer views and tips from ACCA members who've completed it, check out our full-length on-demand webinar. The link's in the description below.
That's it. Thank you so much, Kirsty, and thank you to everyone who's joined us live today, or if you're watching this on demand as well. We really hope that now, having listened to this, you feel ready to take that next step to complete EPSM and get to membership faster. Good luck and take care, everyone.